Hello, welcome to Tea with a Druid. Do gather round and pull up a log by the fire and type in where you're from, and it'll be lovely to see you here. And I can't see anybody yet. Maybe nobody's here. Maybe in the groves there's nobody here. Or maybe there's a technical problem, which is, no, Tammy's here. Good day, Philip. That's lovely to see you. Okay, so we know it's working and hopefully you can hear me. And Martha from Colorado, that's fantastic. Art from Louisiana, fantastic. Great, lovely to see you, lovely to see you. So, you know, this process that I've talked about quite a bit, this magic of us coming together in this way, which is so extraordinary that, of course, at one level we are just sitting in front of our computers or our phones or our tablets all around the world. But in another way, we are actually meeting together. And this magic seems to be growing stronger. Something really powerful is happening because every so often somebody really is breaking through this kind of barrier and actually physically manifesting here in this room. And this happened just recently when suddenly somebody who joins in the teas, you may have seen her, Pamela from New Zealand, suddenly I looked and there she appeared. She suddenly seems to have manifested literally from the other side of the world.
Hello.
Now, how did that happen, Pamela?
Well, I don't. Magic.
Magic. It's the only answer. It's
I
the
agree.
Only possible answer.
Absolutely agree.
Well, it's lovely to see Pamela here
Thank
from New Zealand. And the other wonderful bit of magic about these, I think they're called apports. In spiritualism, it's called an apport, when something goes from one realm to another. So Pamela has apported from New Zealand, but she's brought a present. Visitors often seem to bring presents when they apport. And she's brought something she's been working on for ages, the Wheel of Shigase, spelt what you might think is Segase, but it's actually Shigase. And you'll perhaps recognize the salmon of wisdom in the center of this wheel. And Pamela's been working for years on this, a divination system and a system of coming to understand the mystery of change and how it manifests in your life and in the life of organizations and groups of people. And you open the box of goodies and you find a little bag of hazelnuts, because you know, and in the Well of Shigase, there were the salmon eating the hazelnuts. And you have the cloth there with Will Worthington's fantastic picture of the salmon from the Druid Animal Oracle. And you see already by looking at this, that this is we're going in deep. Decay, genesis, openness, transformation, commitment, alignment, and so on. So it's a fantastic system that works, that makes a lot of sense for anybody who's been studying Druidry, makes a lot of sense for anybody who's familiar with the spiritual path. And you can find out more about it by, I'll post up the link there and on the comments at the end of our session. And I've put a link also in my blog post that will go up in an hour or so with the recording of this. And so you can see the fabulous website that Pamela's made. And as well, if you happen to be in Glastonbury on June the 4th, the Monday after the Embodied Summer Gathering in Glastonbury, come and join us all for a morning's workshop, a morning's immersion in the mysteries of the Wheel of Shigase. With Pamela. That'll be fantastic. Anne Wallace says that's cool. And Marjolein in the Netherlands says that's great. So that's wonderful. So Beltane blessings to you. And Jessie wants to roast the hazelnuts. No, you can't roast them, Jessie. You're supposed to use them with the oracle. So now here's the subject that I'd like to talk to you about, or talk with you about today, explore with you. And that is the question of the physical world, really, and embodiment. I've talked about Pamela apporting from the other side of the world. I'm here in my physical body talking to you in your physical bodies. And one of the approaches we can take in life is to say, well, that's all very well, but the physical body is the locus of suffering. The physical world is a very difficult place to live in with tremendous amounts of suffering. And actually, it's the spiritual world that's the real world. The body and the natural world is a place of illusion. And so the path of spiritual development should be a path of detachment, of disidentification, of disinterestedness in these things. And when the going gets tough, that can be an appealing approach. But the difficulty with that approach is it can lead to denial of the pleasures of the body, the pleasures and beauties of the natural world. It can lead to repression in oneself, and as one sees in religious fundamentalism around the world, repression of other people. So it's a hugely problematic path. And many of us now, I think, are turning to nature spiritualities and nature ways because we're seeking a path that celebrates the body, that celebrates the natural world, that engages with the challenges and difficulties of being in the body, of being in the natural world, but that does not seek to escape, to deny, or repress. So that's, I think, what we mean when we talk about Druidry being an embodied spirituality. It's a spirituality that is encouraging us to be in the world and to love it, and to have an attitude of embracing life. However, talk to a Druid, talk to a pagan, talk to somebody following a nature way, and almost certainly they will also believe in another world. They'll believe in a spiritual world. They'll believe that however wonderful the body and the natural world is, that there is a greater reality. There's something more than that. And perhaps that's a reality that we go to when we die and slough off our mortal coil. And so, in effect, what we're doing is we're having our cake and eating it. We're saying, yes, I want to engage with the beauties of this world, and there's a meaning for me being here. It's not about escaping this world. It's about engaging with the world and being of use in the world. But also, there are other levels of reality, and I can be detached. I can detach myself from my body, my feelings, my mind, to connect with pure awareness inside me. And the drawing a card for this, of course, this is what we get, the goose card from the Animal Oracle, which is a wonderful teacher for us, because the goose is one of the birds that flies the highest. It's amongst the highest flying birds, 29,000 feet. Some geese have been recorded flying over the Himalayas. So they fly incredibly high, and yet they also love strutting about in the mud and floating about in the water. And so this is, I think, a lesson for us to say, yes, enjoy rolling your sleeves up and splashing about in the mud, and also enjoy flying really high. We can love being in our house, but we can also love going outside and looking up at the stars. And there's a particular exercise that Roberto Assagioli, who was the founder of psychosynthesis, which is a wonderful system of psychotherapy and psychology that incorporates an understanding of the spiritual, that is one of the key exercises that Assagioli brought to psychosynthesis, which is he called the identification-disidentification exercise. That's a bit clumsy. People have renamed it things like the centering exercise. And this is a really nice way of formalizing and bringing into awareness precisely the attitude that I think we probably all adopt. Do tell me in the comments if you don't adopt this attitude, and that'll be really interesting to read. But I suspect most of us adopt the belief that We want to engage with the physical world and with our bodies, but we also want to be able to detach from them and to connect with, what do we call it, the divine, the other world, the source. And so this exercise renders that conscious, puts it into words. It can sometimes be a little intellectual, this exercise, so it doesn't always work, for me certainly, but sometimes it does. And like any exercise, it repays doing a number of times at your own pace and giving plenty of time. But I thought it would be fun as a way of illustrating this concept that I've shared with you. I thought it would be fun for us to do it in a meditation, so we can experience it at an experiential level, as well as just taking it on board or considering it as a concept. So should we do that? Let's become aware of being in the grove now. We're in a place, for those of you who aren't familiar with Druidry, the idea of a grove is just a clearing in the forest. There's dappled shade. So it's not too hot. It's been fantastically hot and sunny down in Sussex today. So the thought of being in the shade of a sacred grove is lovely. And so here we are in the sacred grove, the earth beneath us, the trees around us, and the sky above us. And as I open to the earth beneath me, I can feel the stability of the earth, the strength of the earth, the healing power of the earth. And I just allow my cares and anxieties just to fall away for a while, to be supported by the nourishing earth. And I sense the trees around me, a lovely sense of protection and power and strength, their roots reaching deep into the earth, their trunks stretching up, their leaves high above me and branches. And I breathe in, and I breathe in the smell of the trees. That lovely, refreshing, green smell of the trees. And then I become aware of the sky. And I breathe in the energy of the sky. And the energy of the sky brings me vitality and strength. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of my being. And I become aware of being seated here. I become aware of myself and of my body. I just sense my body here. And I just tell myself that I have a body, but I am more than my body. I am the one who is aware, the self, the center. My body may be rested or feeling tired, but somehow I remain the same, the observer at the center of all my experience. I'm aware of my body. I love my body. But I'm more than my body. And I sense my feeling self now, my emotions. And I know that I have emotions, but also that I am more than my emotions. My emotions change, they come and go. But I love the fact that I feel deeply. I have emotions. but I'm more than my emotions. And now I become aware of my mind, my intellect. But I know and sense that I am more than my mind. Regardless of my thoughts and regardless of how my beliefs have changed over the years, I remain the one who is aware, the one who chooses, the one who directs my thinking process. I have a mind, but I'm more than that. I am a center of pure awareness, at one with all being. And just breathing in and breathing out, just aware of myself as pure being. I gradually allow myself to be aware of having a mind, having feelings, and having a body. And I become aware of my body, seated here. I sense the trees around me, the sky above me and the earth beneath me. I sense my fellow companions in the circle. And then I take in a deep breath, hold it for a while, and then let it out. And as I let it out, I let my awareness of the sacred grove begin to fade, as I become aware of being seated where I am. And slowly I open my eyes, fully present, here and now. I slowly open my eyes to find myself gazing at my computer screen or my tablet or my phone, sensing my connection with everyone who's here, but also being fully present where I am at the same time. And that's nice to read, Karen, when you talk about how these meditations just help you to pace and focus. And I think that's the value of guided meditations, really. And of course we can do these things ourselves, but sometimes it just really helps if we can just let go and just hear a voice taking us on the journey, providing the focus for us in a meditation, and then we can just really go with it. And Geo says that she had a lovely breeze in her grove. That's great. Holy cats, I felt a strong, shivery charge burst out of me during that, says Martha. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Calm for the end of the day, says Alan. And that's I think, another purpose for these meditations. I mean, they're deliberately short because, you know, if I make them longer, you're going to go deeper. We're all going to go deeper, and that's okay. But given the circumstances and the fact that we're all around the world, and this feels like the right length of time. So thank you for being here. Remember that all your comments are read. I go down and I recharge this enormous mug with more tea, and I come back up. I then pop this up on YouTube, because some people don't do Facebook, they watch it on YouTube. And I pop it up on the blog. And in the blog, I put links to Pamela's website, to the workshop in Glastonbury on the 4th of June. and a little kind of summary of what I talked about, the essence of it. And yeah, so lovely to see you. And I'm off on an Embodied retreat on Thursday, just down the road, just an hour away, which is going to be lovely. And I'll be back Monday, so I'll see you again on Monday. And thanks to Matt for doing the broadcast last week. I know he had a technical problem, but I hope you were able to stay with him and enjoyed it. That was great. And see you all hopefully next week. Okay, lots of love and bye.